It's so easy for people to believe these terrible things because we all love a really salty story, right? We like to think there's a huge conspiracy behind everything and that all those terrible things, they must be true, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
I think a lot of our controversy is stemmed from lack of understanding of our operation. There's safeguards built in place to make sure that we protect the environment in a way that's sustainable. This is where we live, so we want to make sure that we do everything in a proper way. The permitting process is a pretty long, drawn-out, intense deal that you have to go through. It usually takes about 2 years to get a permit issued.
People should care about this issue because it could be them next. If they want to have the chance to farm or whatever it is on their own property, private property, if the government can come in and pull a permit that has been legally issued and in operation for 5-6 years, then they can just do whatever they want, basically.
So if we do not get a permit to keep operating, we will actually lose everything we own.
You know, that's everything. Our houses, land that's been in our family for generations.
I mean, our guys, they take care of those animals. They work hard to make sure each and every animal is healthy, and we're not abusing the animals. We're not abusing the land that we're on. We believe in sound science. We follow what the University of Arkansas recommends. We follow what the state of Arkansas recommends. We do all of those things. Now, truly, we're not scientists and experts, but we can see the land.
The general nature of farmers should be that they, you know, are doing best practices and putting their animals, you know, their health, you know, considering that in everything they do. And the land. I mean, we depend on the land and we don't want to hurt it. We live here. We love to live here.
Well, Philip and I actually started in about 2000 under C&H Farms, and then in 2012 we conned Jason into going in with us and building C&H Hog Farms, and we've been at it for going on 6 years now.
So I would go up there and help them guys on the weekends. And I just really got where I really liked the hog farming, and I thought, you know, this is something that I want to do for a living. So I quit a very good job to come be a hog farmer. I had my first bottle calf when I think I was like 6. You know, we've been farming all our lives. We're true farmers and enjoy it. So that's a lot of things a lot of people can't say is they enjoy their job, and we definitely enjoy our job.
It means everything to me. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted to do is farm, and to have your family around you while you're doing it. What more could you ask for? In Newton County, our family's been farming since it's been established as a county, basically.
Isaac loves to go to the hog farm. He loves to ship the baby pigs, and he also, one of his favorite things to do is to check on the sows. And in the mornings when he does get to go, that's like the easiest time to get him up. He shoots out of bed, and usually I'm dragging him.
Like I said, my little boy is 6. He was in kindergarten last year. They asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up. He said, "I want to be a firefighter and a hog farmer like my daddy."
Yes, I mean, that's one of the great pleasures of farming is we can have our family come out and actually work with us each and every day that they want to. It's such a treat to me to have my little girl come out and want to work hogs with me every day. It's a true benefit that most people don't get to see.
We are Christians first and foremost. Each morning when I wake up, I try to remind myself that, you know, in everything I do, God needs to be first. I have always believed that we have a unique opportunity to let Jesus shine, to let God shine in this, that they can choose to say bad things about us and say horrible things that they want to do to us, and if we just show love for them, then that will show them that that Jesus is first in our life, and that even when the natural reaction is hate, then that we fight that, and we want it to be love.
I hope the future for C&H Hog Farms is we can pass this farming down to the next generation. I think farmers are getting fewer and fewer and fewer as time goes on. To me, it's very important to be able to pass that down to the next generation. There's a lot of misconceptions about our fertilizer. We are an antibiotic-free fertilizer, so there's no growth hormones or anything in the feed that goes into feeding our hogs. Once our hogs get fed that feed, they go to the bathroom, and we've got what they call a shallow pit operation, so that manure goes into what they call holding ponds. Once that goes into the holding ponds, we actually have to sample that manure to know how much nutrients it's got in it. And we also have to sample the soil that we're putting it on to be able to know how much nutrients that soil actually needs. So with that process, we know exactly what the soil needs, we know how much nutrients we're putting on there, and this is all natural organic fertilizer without any growth hormones or anything in it. The truth of the matter is that C&H Hog Farms does not produce enough nutrients to supply the needs that the National Park Service requires at a minimum to go right on the banks of the buffalo without any rules or regulations.
Some of our biggest struggles right now, I guess, are having to deal with the roller coaster of dealing with the governmental issues that we have to face with ADEQ, and then telling you one thing and then come back and telling you something different.
Right now, currently, the University of Arkansas is doing a study on our farm. That study has been in operation about 4.5 years, and to date they have found no ill effects of C&H Hog Farms. When they look at different contributaries or different watersheds, basically it's the same thing. They're seeing the same ups and downs in different watersheds as they are ours.
So when we first learned that C&H permit had been denied, I think we were a bit shocked. And I think that the reason I say that is the justification provided by the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality for the denial. There are reasons that have never been asked of any other hog farm or dairy farm in the state of Arkansas ever. And so to say that we were shocked is an understatement. But that's not even the truly troubling part. What's truly troubling about this process is that even if we agreed that these items that was requested by the Department of Environmental Quality are necessary, C&H was never given an opportunity to provide that information.
We've found so many instances where people already have condemned us before they ever even start, and you cannot have a successful study if you do that. So we don't want people to come here to say we're supporters of the farm or we're anti-farm. We want people to come with an unbiased opinion and do their research and base it on proven scientific facts that are out there.
We have been inspected multiple times by the EPA from out of Dallas. We've been inspected by livestock and poultry. Pretty much anybody that's got any type of authority has come up and inspected us and basically found no violations.
I think we at Farm Bureau, our policy is that that good sound science should rule the day. And I think that's the process that should be used for C&H in the permitting, is that good sound science should be used to rule the day and not on emotion.
We're not the first farm that this has happened to, and we will not be the last farm that this has happened to, unfortunately. It seems like farmers more and more are being attacked for their practices, even when we're going above and beyond to take care of our animals and to be environmentally secure and sound in our practices. We need to stop the attack on farmers, because farming is a concern of national security. Our food supply, our safe food supply, is very important to each and every one of us. Even if it's not something we do in our day-to-day lives or have any interaction with farmers, we all go to the grocery store, we all eat. Ask the farmer. If you have a question about what goes on a specific farm, ask that farmer. That's the expert on that farm. Don't ask someone that has no clue or that speculates. Ask the person that actually knows and that does the day-to-day operation.
You can go on the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality's website, and if you take a look at the records, if you take a look at all the ag permits that have been issued, there have been about 2,500 applications received by the department for an agricultural permit. C&H is the only permit that has ever been denied by the Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality.
You got to be dedicated to it and persistence. You got to do the same thing over and over, the right things, that is.
You can't just come and throw feed at them, walk in there, and you've got to take care of them like they're part of your family.
And I mean, I think if you know this area and you know the type of people that are drawn to it and the type of people that thrive here, you know that we're fighters, that we have to fight to live here, and that you know, we want to thrive here. We don't want to just survive here, and we have found a way to live where we love, and we want to continue to do it.